yards. Look at that. Look at the way New England came back, especially in yards passing. The total yards almost even. Dallas slightly ahead in time of possession. A simply terrific football game, but with New England making the key mistakes, and you can't overlook that.
This man, spectacular 75-yard touchdown run, did much of it on his own. Great blocking, however, at the line of scrimmage. Not bad stats. 6 more. As I told you earlier, he'll become the second leading all-time rusher behind Don Perkins, replacing Calvin Hill. Both teams coming into tonight for New England. They had lost their first 2 ball games. They lost to Baltimore. They lost to Philadelphia last week. Dallas, meanwhile, beat Washington 26-10. They beat St. Louis 30-17. Dallas 12-4 last year, tied with England, rather Philadelphia. They lost in a tiebreaker in the playoffs. They beat Los Angeles, Atlanta, then they lost to the Eagles in the NFC Championship. New England 10-6, Buffalo winning their division with an 11-5 mark.
No Worthley, and this goes back to our opening of the telecast tonight. New England has not been able to contain Tony Dorsett, but they've handled the fearsome front 4 of Dallas. Kavanaugh getting superb protection. Frank.
Septian hits it for Dallas. Tony Collins from the 5-yard line for New England. And Tony Collins out close to the 30-yard line. Taken there by Anthony Dickerson. And we anticipate Matt Kavanaugh's return with Calhoun and Collins, although they have been alternating setbacks. Stanley Morgan has been a factor, and a big factor, in the lineup as wide receiver, number 86 for New England. He's been out for several weeks with a sore ankle and a knee. Harold Jackson is back in the lineup, and Don Hasselbeck. He had 3 big receptions for 93 yards for New England. 1st and 10, New England. They're at their own 27. Calhoun, right side. And Calhoun met first by big Ed Jones, who has been the defensive MVP in both the Cowboys' early games. Charlie Waters also helping out. Calhoun will come out, and Tutupu, who is seeing a lot of action tonight, comes into the lineup. I'll tell you again, Sam Cunningham signed his contract. He reported 1 week ago and started working out. Not available, however, tonight. He's been out of the game for a year. Morgan, split left, as is Jackson. Hasselbeck, number 80, bottom of your screen. 2nd and 8. Wide open is Jackson. Down the sideline, Jackson. To the 41-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys, splitting Michael Downs.
Frank, New England's been picking them apart all night. Kavanaugh getting superb protection. Receivers wide open all over the place as you look at it again. But they have not capitalized. And up to this point, that's the key.
There's Downs making the stop, and it was good pattern run by Jackson. Ball well thrown by Kavanaugh. He's having himself a night. Carlos Pennywell is in briefly to give Jackson a breather. Ball near the 41. Kavanaugh back quickly. Fired and complete. Tony Collins. To about the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Guy Brown defensively for the Dallas Cowboys. There he is. He's big, 6'4", a 228-pounder. He has had a lot of little injuries that maybe the Cowboys felt should not have kept him out of the lineup. He got his opportunity to play when Mike Hageman suffered a broken arm against the Washington Redskins. 2nd and 8. Draw play. Tutupu. And Tutupu with a big opening. He'll go in. Oh, there are no flags.
Well, what a move.
38-yard touchdown run. Great acceleration at the line of scrimmage on a little quick draw to Tutupu.
You've got to think when you see a play like that something happened to the middle linebacker. I really don't know. I'm sure we'll see it again in a minute. Caught the Dallas secondary into a double zone. All right, let's see what happens to Bruning. Right in the middle. Pretty good standoff there on the outside. Hannah's doing a good job on White. Bruning gets caught up in the middle, as does Dutton. Charlie Waters comes in, hits, bounces off, and he runs.
Memo to Dick Vermeil and Carl Peterson. Stop calling Gilroy. You're not getting Mosey to Tupu.
We have a new leader. The New England Patriots is John Smith. Splits the uprights. And the Patriots are on top. Really 21-17 on a very fine run of 38 yards by Mosey Tupu. A capacity crowd of 61,000 plus is loving every moment of it. The New England Patriots looking for their first win of the season. Set to kick off. There's James Jones for Dallas. Mike Hubach. They put it in the air for New England. An electrifying run by Tupu. Jones from his 10-yard line. And out to the 30-yard line. Closing down on it. Lynn Dawson. Let's look at that draw again.
Another look in the middle. You got Pete Brock coming in from the center position, but a good block also. Oh, they've got Dutton in there pretty good shape. Charlie Waters came from his strong safety. That's just not a very good tackling position. Both those safeties and the cornerbacks were into a double zone on both sides, so Charlie had to make a little move from the outside to come in, but basically missed it.
The offensive unit of the Dallas Cowboys back out on the field. They've been able to spring Dorsett. They've been able to hit Ron Springs. They've been able to hit Tony Hill and Butch Johnson. Now they trail. White on first down. Fires a complete to Butch Johnson, and Johnson is out of bounds up over the 35-yard line. Gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3.
These two teams really have offensive firepower. Neither has shown the capacity to stop the other. There's Mosey.
He's had a night.
I don't understand why he's been played so little the last 4 years, Giff.
They've been saving him for this game.
Second down and 3. Drew Pearson, number 88, top of your screen. Out of the eye. Short handoff, Ron Springs. Line of scrimmage, squeezes out a yard. It'll be third down and 2. Richard Bishop on the bottom of that pile. Big number 64.
Bishop, one of 4 holdouts a year ago. An excellent nose guard.
He's been seeing a lot of action for Ray Hamilton. Ray Hamilton hurt in the preseason with a bad ankle. Bishop moved in at nose tackle. He can play at the end. He can play at the tackle. And right now, they stay in a 3-4. 3 tight ends are in. That's Saldi in motion. We have Dupree and Cosby also. Ron Springs. There will be no first down, and Dallas will have to turn it over, and this New England Patriot team is really goosed up.
They're fired up now, and look at those fans. They've been waiting a long time in New England, and they know the season is young. A win tonight puts them at 1-2 if they can do it. That's not going to be easy against a great Dallas team.
Tom Landry in his 22nd year.
He's not above being a little itchy, is he?
Now, is he the only coach Dallas has ever had?
There's Roland James. Danny White will punt. A strange question. Roland James. No fair catch indicated. Dallas saying they have the football. There's a scramble. New England says, no, we have it. Roland James would have been better advised to have gone for the fair catch as New England turns it over.
Absolutely. A team with a capacity, as they proved tonight, for the key mistake again and again and again.
Dallas has certainly had the swing of good fortune so far tonight. Very easily, New England could have another touchdown on the board, as we saw a fumble into the end zone right before the half.
The first down is inside the 20-yard line at the 19.
They've got a little razzle-dazzle play. It's a good position for them to do this. They've got these wide receivers that can throw passes. Little reverse green pass could come up anytime.
Back into the pro set, now back into a wing set with Dorsett, and now in motion. They show you so many things. Ron Springs opening on the left side, and Springs showing you the strength and power that takes him to the 15. Gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. This Springs has really developed for Dallas. They got him cheap. They got him in the 3rd round. actually he was the fifth-round draft pick. He had led Ohio State as a junior, was hurt as a senior, slipped by a lot of folks. And Ron Springs has turned into a superb football player. He's a backup man also to Tony Dorsett. 2nd and 6. Ball at New England's 15-yard line. Springs, another big hole. Springs inside the 10. Close to a first down. Bill Matthews defensively first there for New England.
Steve Nelson and Bill Matthews on the defensive
There's
side.
Mackovic. We'll see the signal in a moment.
That's the call. Of course, much like baseball, some of them are dummy calls. It's less than 1 for the first on 3rd down. Robert Newhouse comes into the lineup, his first appearance on the night. He lost his job in training camp when he pulled a muscle and Ron Springs developed so rapidly. Saldi, Newhouse. Newhouse turned back. It'll be 4th down.
Well, now you got to wonder, Newhouse just barely made the huddle. I mean, he's the guy they gave the ball to. I wonder if he knew that was his play they'd call. Well, he did. He was the last man out there. He hadn't been here all night.
And
got a man down.
New England Patriot, Tim Fox.
Oh, they can't
Great
afford
free
to.
safety.
That's true, and what a spirit. And they're showing a lot of resolution out there tonight as you look at Timmy Fox and his vital statistics. Now lives here in Foxborough, but grew up with our own Steve Pazika in Canton, Ohio. Did you know that, Frank?
Absolutely. Tim Fox, one of the many players acquired by New England in the trade of O.J. Simpson. And he is being attended to by the medical staff of the New England Patriots. We'll remind you again this Saturday you'll be seeing NCAA college football. It'll be regional action starting at 12 o'clock Eastern. Boston College will be in North Carolina, Oregon State and Minnesota, Florida, Mississippi State, San Jose, California. That's a special time at 10:30. As we can see, Timmy Fox is in pretty good shape. Then following Wide World of Sports at 5 o'clock Eastern, the second half of our NCAA doubleheader, Oklahoma and USC. And how about Marcus Allen out of USC? 210 yards in his first game, 274 yards against Indiana. Last Saturday, he only carried 138 times. Only kidding. He carried it 40 times, though. He's 30. Dallas is to use the field goal. They'll go on 4th down, a full yard. Saldi in motion. Dorsett easily the first down. It'll be 1st and goal to go at the 7.
Kind of reminds me of the old days of Oakland. They like to run left, and so does Dallas over Pat Donovan and Herb Scott. 2 Pro Bowlers, and you see Dorsett saying, wait a minute, something pinched my elbow.
So Dallas threatening. Roland James would not go for the fair catch. Bobbled the ball. Dallas recovered the fumble. And now they have a 1st and goal, and Timmy Fox, we are glad to report, is back in the game for New England. Drew Pearson right. Brooks Johnson left. James Jones, number 23, gets the call over the right side. He's piled up and maybe squeezes a yard out. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
James Jones, the ball carrier, has been plagued with a few injuries this year also, but you saw him run in that time as Tony Dorsett did go out.
A minute ago, I mentioned as part of the O.J. Simpson trade, we were just in Buffalo, by the way, it was Jim Plunkett. And they got a lot for him. They got Pete Brock out there. They've got Tim Fox. They got Ray Claiborne and Horace Ivory, all for Plunkett. And he was traded to San Francisco. 2nd down, goal to go.
Put it in the air.
Nope. On Springs, getting closer.
They're not paying any attention to you tonight, Howard.
It'll be 3rd and goal to go. The ball inside the 2, and we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is KIVI Channel 6 Napa.
And if you've just joined us, Dallas got the scoring underway in the 1st quarter. They led 7-0. New England came back with Don Calhoun to tie it at 7. Seption put the Cowboys ahead again in the 2nd quarter. Then Tony Dorsett went 75 yards to make it 17-7. We're looking at a 21-17 game now. New England in the lead. Third down, goal to go. Danny White, man wide open. And it's Billy Joe Dupree. No one even near him.
That's called stacking it against him, man. Nobody was there to cover Billy Joe. An unusual call, had a motion going the other way. Danny Rowe back toward where the motion came from. You'll see it here. I think this is Cosby coming into motion. A little fake into Springs, rolls out. Nobody there. That was Ron Schote that had a little shot at, maybe that was Schote's man, as a matter of fact. He's the linebacker on that side. Schote was in there trying to hit Danny White. Didn't make it.
Thing they do, Dupree blocks down for just a moment. The safety thinks run, takes his eyes off. Dupree slides in behind him. That was perfectly executed. Septian for the conversion. And Dallas says regain the lead with 7:29 remaining in the third quarter. The Cowboys back out in front, 24-21. Good action. Stay with us. 7 plays. They moved 19 yards following the Roland James fumble of a punt, which he should have called for a fair catch and did not. Tony Collins is deep. Raphael Septian. They put it in the air for Dallas. Or almost in the air. Low line driver. Collins one-hops it and is on his way. Now to about the 29-yard line goes Tony Collins, and you have to wonder, without New England's mistake, this would be an entirely different ball game.
Be a runaway for the Patriots, but they make the mistakes, and Dallas is an opportunistic team. Brilliantly coached, grasping every chance.
Matt Cavanaugh. Good night for Cavanaugh. New England from their 29-yard line. Collins 33, Calhoun 44. Setbacks for New England. Cavanaugh again with good protection and an open receiver, Stanley Morgan. Dennis Thurman man-to-man on Morgan, and Morgan was there, and that ball was well thrown.
And New England has met one challenge tonight despite their mistakes. As you look at Stanley and ISO, they have really contained the Dallas pass rush.
They really have, and I think that's the real key. Howard, he's really having a lot of time to throw, and Thurman, they've got some inexperience back there. Even in Thurman, he hasn't been in that long, so they're really working on man-to-man.
Ball near the 48-yard line for the first down. Harold Jackson, top of your screen. Patupu, this time piled up as Big Ed Jones closes down from his defensive end position.
Not that time.
Eddie Lee.
Ed Jones, was he a pretty good boxer when he took that year out, Howard? Well, that answers that.
I wouldn't want him to go 3 rounds with Sugar Ray Leonard, despite his size.
Get a broken kneecap. Kneecap of about a yard and a half.
He'd get water on the knee. That's what Ali almost got when he fought Chavallo in Toronto.
Why did I bring it up?
I don't know.
Second down. Cavanaugh. And no receiver downfield, and Cavanaugh steps out of bounds.
Don't you think he may have made a mistake? He had 3 red shirts out there.
I thought he did.
I think he could have made some more yardage that time.
That's the first time he's been out of the pocket all night that I can remember.
Loss of about a half a yard. So it'll be third and long. Not a good situation against the Dallas defense.
Very big situation for the Pats.
Third down and 11. Hasselbeck comes out as we have 3 wide receivers. That's Jackson, 29. Stanley Morgan, who's been a factor tonight, a big one. Number 86, and Westbrook is number 83. From the shotgun. Going deep is Cavanaugh. Stanley Morgan, who is running as if he is not troubled at all with knee and ankle.
Cavanaugh threw that one way too quickly. He saw the blitz coming from Dallas. They picked him up, but he just got a little bit nervous in his throw, threw it too quickly, didn't give the pattern a chance to develop.
New England hunting for their first time tonight. And James Jones settles in at the 10.
Kubach. Punt.
Mike Kubach was terrible in preseason, almost lost his job, but he's been good over the past 2 games. He's had a lot of practice, I guess I could say. This is Jones. And Jones, with a risky maneuver, that is 15, gets out to the 17-yard line on a 34-yard punt by Hubach. Not a bad punt. The Cowboys will be deep in their own territory when we return to Foxborough. Seesaw game. Made so by the fact that New England has been playing superb football, fired up, but they've just made the mistake. A couple of them forced, however, by Dallas. A couple of fumbles. First down and 10. Dallas at their own 18-yard line. They show you, oh, so many formations, and you have to think about each and every one of them. Pearson in motion. Dorsett, stutter step, then the acceleration. And Dorsett is the second all-time leading rusher for the Cowboys as he gets the first down out over the 35 to the 37, where Mike Haynes was there defensively for New England. Oh, does he move around?
Good little false start to one side. You'll see him coming back out to the outside. That was Cooper, I believe, that was in the lead. Now playing off of Thrill Hill's block. Picked up a few more yards before Haynes moved in there and picked him up.
Do you believe that Steve Nelson, the best tackler of New England, didn't even slow him down?
That's right. Missed him.
First and 10, Dallas. Their own 37-yard line. White.
Yeah.
Tony Hill. A surgical job now being applied by the Cowboys right in front of Rick Sanford. Tony Dorsett, 129 yards against St. Louis, 132 against Washington as we watch Tony Hill once again.
Back out of Rick Sanford. If you remember, they've really been working over in that area quite a bit tonight. Not saying that Sanford is bad. It's just that when they're looking at what the other choices are, they really have tried to isolate him as much as they can. Hill didn't play a single down in preseason, so he's getting off to a late start.
142 yards this far on the night for Tony Dorsett. We have 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. First and 10. That's Pearson in motion. This is Dorsett. This time, no chance at all as Ray Hamilton slid off the block of Rafferty and made the stop right at the line of scrimmage. Great statistic on this young man. 10 straight years. Now you're going all the way back to high school. This man has rushed for over 1,000 yards. This year he seems to be a much more dedicated player. His best game ever is 206 yards. And he has, as I said, 142 tonight. Second and 10. A man is open. Springs out of the backfield.
How about that little one-hand catch?
Not shabby.
Nice throw, but also a nice catch out there. Pretty good coverage. Straight drop back pass. Looking at Springs out on the outside. Schultz trying to follow him in there. Good move by Springs to reach out and bring that ball back in.
He has become exceptional. Springs really has. Great development.
Mike Hawkins instead of Schultz. I'm sorry.
Cowboys 24, New England 21. Third down, long 5. Out of the shotgun. Inside handoff. This one does not work and almost bobbled. Ron Springs with a good effort to hold on to it. It'll be fourth down.
What a play by Tony McGee. He read that so perfectly.
He either did or he got off the line real slow. I'm not sure which one it was because they ran right into him and he charged upfield. He saw it coming.
Yep.
Moved back into the inside. Had that ball been dropped, of course, that would be a forward pass. Incomplete pass.
Tony McGee's going in on his own. Remember over the years his team with Mel Lunsford makes a big play for New England. Mike Haynes drops. There he is. Danny White looks over the situation. This time he'll angle it to his left. And Danny White catches one at the 11-yard line. Good punt by Danny White, who says, one day I would like to lead the league in passing and punting. Sammy Baugh did it, 41 and 43. We hope you are enjoying playing our 5th game in 16 days at the start of the 1981 NFL season. And next Monday night, we'll be in Chicago for the Bears in Los Angeles. And the Rams, of course, they'll have to get their act together. And a different act it is, because Atlanta is off to a great start. They're 3-0. Bears winners yesterday. On 1st and 10, Kavanaugh with a handoff to Calhoun. Calhoun runs into a peck of trouble out on the right side. Harvey Martin representing most of it, getting help from Everson Walls.
Closed the hole quickly. Abruptly, Martin did. Looked like Calhoun might spurt for some decent yardage, but not with Harvey.
They had the 2 wide receivers flanked out very wide that time, trying to spread that Dallas defense. But you both have caught it. Harvey cut it off before he had a chance to get into that secondary, the linebacker position.
Give Calhoun 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Kavanaugh with the time once again. Was it a possession? No. Ruled incomplete. The official facing the play indicated an incompletion, and now they could be reversed.
I think
that was Stanley Morgan. They'll talk it over.
Shelby Jordan was quick to get in there and argue, and I think he's right. I thought it was a completion.
It's basically a new rule, or explaining the rule of possession on a reception. You used to have to be able to do something common to the game on the reception. Nope. Not anymore. Once you show possession and you drop it, you've lost it.
Well, I don't really think I understand the rule, Vince. So if one of y'all do, tell me about it. Now, he catches the ball. Is he supposed to take a step with it?
They called possession in the first half on Andy Johnson just before the end. Look at that. I think it was the same thing as the Johnson play with a different call.
It appeared to me that he caught it, and the ball was knocked out by the defensive back.
Exactly right. Same thing that Benny Barnes did to Andy Johnson just before the end of the half.
Academic incompletion, 3rd down and 7.
Academic to you, Gib. Not to New England.
Well, I was just trying to get back to the game. Out of the shotgun. Of Tony Collins, the ball was well thrown.
And there's nobody around to defend that one. Somebody really screwed up.
Incredible the way New England fails. Well, they're just victimized by their own mistakes. They've got receivers wide open. They've had them wide open all night.
Kubac was kicked once tonight, not effectively. James Jones at midfield for Dallas. They could have good field position once again. 1:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dallas over New England 24-21. Kubac hangs it up. Jones, and he bobbles the ball as flag now goes down.
I'm going to guess that
they could have interfered with his right to catch the ball.
I think that's it, Frank.
But it looked like his own man was driven into him.
Did he cover the fumble anyway?
No, I thought New England recovered it. There it is.
Against New England. Well, you have to let him catch the ball. And it'll be marked off against New England. We'll get the official phrasing from Jerry Markbright.
I know it's only the 3rd quarter, 1:39 to go.
Interference with the opportunity to make a fair catch. Number 62 on the kicking team. 1st down.
Dwight Wheeler.
But the string runs out. No team can make this number of mistakes and expect to win.
Ron Earhart really exercised now on the sidelines. And Dallas, field position. They're at the 33-yard line of New England. They lead by 3. Tony Dorsett, single setback. Saldi adjusts to a wing spot, number 87. Here comes Dorsett. Steve Nelson defensively there for New England. Dorsett inside the 30-yard line, close to the 27.
That's a play that I think the defensive coaches could say, we have that play defensed about as well as we can defense it. And then all of a sudden, he picks up 4 or 5 yards.
He does that. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, the pursuit was there. They played it well. And nevertheless, he gets 5 yards out of it.
He's averaging 9 yards a carry, slightly over it. This is a great football game.
That blocker in front, by the way, 67, was all-pro Pat Donovan. 2nd and 5. Ron Springs. Springs has the first down. No, they will mark it back. And we'll have 3rd down. A little more than 2. And we're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
Tripped him up back there. His knee touched, and he was down there. I think he got it, jumped up and lunged forward for that. 3rd down and 2.
Passing down, at least from the personnel in there for Dallas. Butch Johnson, 86. Tony Hill, 80. Drew Pearson, the 3 excellent wide receivers. It's Tony Hill way up there at the top of your screen. Danny White. Ron Springs gets away from Nelson. And this time he does have the first down as time has expired in the 3rd quarter. You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. The score, 24-21 Dallas. We'll return for the 4th quarter. But right now, this message from our local stations. Story. As we begin the 4th quarter, the Dallas Cowboys leading 24-21 over New England. New England with 2 losses in the early season. Dallas with 2 victories. Dallas has a 1st and 10. The ball at the 21-yard line of New England. Tony Hill split far to the left. Drew Pearson to the right. 2 tight ends are in, Saldi and Dupree. Saldi, 83, rather 87. Danny White dumps it out to Dorsett, and Dorsett goes down in the arms of Mike Hawkins.
Hawkins was lying in wait for that. 3rd quarter stats. Look how close the first downs are. Yards rushing, Dallas the big edge. Yards passing, now the big edge to New England. Total yards almost even. The turnover's the key. Time of possession important, but the turnover's the key, representing the proliferation of New England mistakes.
We have a 2nd down and 18. The ball back at the 29-yard line following the loss. We're going to cover it from the end zone. Dallas figures to put it in the air. Danny White is back. Trying to get off a screen, and the screen man could not get open. It was Dorsett who got tangled up with his little fake block. One of the New England Patriots got an arm on him far short of a first down. And it'll be 3rd down and approximately 11 yards. New England has played good football tonight. They're playing a very tough team to get ready for defensively because of all the formations and all the sets. They have played well. They have given up yardage, but most teams will to Dallas. And we'll cover it again on 3rd down and long yardage from the end zone. Get the view of Tim Fox, the free safety. Going deep for Pearson. Incomplete. Mike Haynes was back there.
Well, you got to give it to New England. Again, they showed character. Dallas desperately wanting the touchdown. Look the end of the play, Don.
Okay, from the other side of the field, we use a reverse angle, and you'll see pretty good effort on both these guys' part. Pearson's trying to come back, get in front. Didn't quite hang on to it. Actually, ball was intercepted by Mike Haynes on the ground, but he was out of the end zone.
Septian has already kicked one from 26. This attempt will be from 40. Charlie Waters holds the ball for Dallas. Rafferty snaps it. This time, Seption's string of 8 consecutive field goals misses. So New England, they stiffen. And they are in this ball game. They trail by 3 as we are just getting underway in the 4th quarter. take possession. 1st and 10. The ball at the line of scrimmage. The missed field goal attempt outside the 20. The line of scrimmage will be the 22. Deception string of 8 consecutive broken, but he did set a new Dallas Cowboy record of 8 consecutive field goals. Kavanaugh having a fine night. Lays one up, and it's there too long. Everson falls and picks it off.
Is that kid nowhere to go?
We told you about him earlier. 3 interceptions in preseason.
Led the nation in college last year at Grambling.
What's interesting is that finally, I think they've come up with a great cornerback. Through all the years of Dallas excellence, as we look at the end zone replay, the only great cornerback they had was Renfro. Adderley came late in the game to Green Bay. But look at this kid with a nose for the football. And he may be the answer.
His 2nd interception of the night, and the Dallas Cowboys now will have a 1st down and goal to go at the 8-yard line of New England.
And he was a free agent.
Local boy out of Dallas, Texas, went to Richardson High School.
5th turnover for New England. 5th.
Danny White changing up. And he better hurry. He gets it off. And very ineffectively.
I'm telling you.
I don't believe that.
Dorsett and White, one of them did the wrong thing.
Dorsett could have been hurt on that play.
So could White. It's one of your basic foul ups. You saw him try to change the play. And evidently, that audible didn't quite work out just right. At least they got on the ball.
Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, it's really awful. Because a lot of times it's your fault. The quarterback calls the audible, then turns the wrong way.
There's a squeak in the well-oiled machine after all.
That's right. Practically
There's a
perfect.
loss of 6. 2nd down, 16. Draw play.
That's the play they had called.
All set. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, big play now.
3rd down and goal to go. Steve Nelson defensively.
You sometimes get the feeling that Dallas outsmarts themselves. They got so many things that they do real well, and every once in a while you see them try to get a little bit too cute.
In the last series, the dump-off pass to Dorsett when he was covered like a blanket. And earlier, the shovel pass, you remember?
Yeah.
They lead 24-21 and threatening. 3rd down, goal to go. That's Pearson, wide receiver in motion. Danny White throws into a crowd, incomplete. Dave Saldi was back there, and now Seption will trot back out once again.
Well, you've got to give New England credit again. They're hanging tough. I don't think Ted can miss another.
Seption has missed from 40 yards, has hit from 26. This one, another 26-yard attempt. Charlie Waters to hold. Splitting the uprights. And Dallas has extended their lead, but not a comfortable 6 points. We'll be returning to Foxborough in just a moment. The New England Patriot defense has stiffened once again. This time Dallas settles for 3. They lead by 6. 27-21. That's Tony Collins. Seption. Collins takes it at the 6.
Good play.
Will go down at the 15 in the arms of Anthony Dickerson, who's always down there on those special teams.
What a play that was. American League Finals. The Red Sox stay red hot. Detroit beats Baltimore. Rick Waits comes alive, shuts out the Yankees. Oakland, Toronto postponed. Minnesota running away from Western Division leading Kansas City. Texas over Seattle. California ahead.
And here comes New England. They need to start moving the football. Their defense has been on the field too long. And, of course, they need to stop making the errors. Kavanaugh checks off quickly. Comes out to Collins. Collins negotiates his way down to the 18-yard line. Pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
The National League, 2-0. Look at that. 0-0. The 16th, Steve Colton, a National League all-time strikeout record tonight. What a game. Bucks and the Mets in extra innings, tied at 3. Cincinnati, San Diego, tied at zip, 5th inning.
Matt Kavanaugh having a fine night. We got Stanley Morgan back in the lineup tonight, and he's made a big difference. His speed makes the Cowboys change their defenses considerably. This time, big Ed Jones is all over Tony Collins, and there is a loss.
Notice
back to inside the 15-yard line.
Forgive me, Frank. Notice in the clutch how Dallas is now making the plays that they weren't making through the first 3 quarters.
There he is. He is having a great year already. He's coming off the best year ever when he took that season of '79 off to go into boxing. He's one of our guys that has been traveling all over the country with us. 5 games, 16 days. 3rd down and 10 for New England. Kavanaugh has to hurry it. A man is there. It's Jackson. And it's 1st down New England out to the 44-yard line as Matt Kavanaugh was in trouble, and now a flag is down. I believe we're going to have holding against New England.
I tell you, New England has not had a lot of breaks tonight.
No, you can't. It's just disastrous. Every critical mistake. Kavanaugh moved up in the pocket. He was being rushed, held together, threw a decent enough ball. The receiver's getting free all night. How long can a team remain staunch?
Interesting move right there. So Thornton come out, and Harvey Martin told him to go away. I don't know what that means.
Number 75, offense, 3rd down.
Bob Kreider, right guard, holding. Cowboys moving back half the distance to the goal. Clock stop with 10:30 remaining in the game. New England down by 6, 27-21 to Dallas. Kavanaugh out of the shotgun. 3rd down, long yardage, 17. Ed Jones chasing Kavanaugh. You have to get it away.
That's illegal.
They'll call that one.
Now, wait a minute.
And they're saying safety if he was in the grasp of Ed Jones as he was earlier in the game, and that's what they're saying, that he was in the grasp. That's the same as a sack.
Intentional grounding
from the end zone.
In the end zone, number 12, safety.
That's the rule. Kavanaugh desperately trying to get it away. That'll be 2 points. Dallas and New England will have to put it in play from their 20-yard line.
It's on replay.
I thought Jones might have had his hands on him.
Well, he was getting awful close. They moved into the inside.
But all game long, Frank.
Larry Bethea, that was the man back there also.
Bethea and Jones both there.
All game long, New England contained the Dallas rush. When it counts most, now they can't do it anymore. They're getting in. Jones, Martin, Bethea. And what a critical 2 points that was. A touchdown could no longer do it for New England.
Hubach will put it in play with the punt. Jones is deep for Dallas, which is not very deep because New England must put it in play from the 20. Hubach. Fine kick. Jones takes it at the 26. Gets it back to the 40-yard line. Dallas, good field position.
If ever a team desperately needed a Dallas turnover, it's the Pats right now. Quite a night for Mr. White, huh?
21 out of 25.
Well, he was 21 of 29 last week. Dallas will play the Giants Stadium. Phil Simms of the Giants had himself a big day along with the defensive unit of the Giants. And Dallas will be there next Sunday. Dorsett. Terrific block by Donovan out in front. Dorsett up to the 49-yard line, gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. I want to remind you, Nightline, the focus tonight on the controversy over President Reagan's plan to sell AWACS, the reconnaissance planes, to Saudi Arabia. Guests will include President Reagan's National Security Advisor, Richard Allen, and the leader of the fight against the sale. That's Senator Alan Cranston of California. That's tonight on Nightline.
May I just add, Frank, again, we'd like to express our pride in the fact that Mr. David Brinkley joins ABC News, the official announcement tomorrow.
2nd down and 1 for Dallas. They now lead by 8. Dorsett stacked up short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Julius Adams there first. And Dorsett, who sometimes is very slow getting up, is extremely slow this time.
I promise you, this is like second guessing. I'm looking out there, and I said, man, they're running him a lot right now.
Being treated by the Dallas staff. Looks like the wind may have been knocked out of him. They usually lift those knees up to help this.
Let's take a look at the other side of the field in reverse angle and see if we can see what did happen. Didn't make any yardage. They stacked it up pretty well in there.
That's Peterson out in front of it.
Yeah, it looked like he almost had his knees or his ankle or something went out of it trying to cut there.
Mark Boobin came in there, number 63 for New England. And we'll be returning to Foxborough to check on Tony Dorsett and more action after this. Concern on the part of both the Cowboys and the New England Patriot fans as Tony Dorsett walked off the field on his own, and they appear to be checking his chest. But Tony Dorsett walked off. No knee or ankle problems apparent. And meanwhile, he lost a half a yard, so it'll be 3rd down and a little more than a yard to go as the New England defense has played superb tonight. The shotgun. Andy White, and wide open is Butch Johnson for the 1st down. Inside the 40-yard line of New England. Butch Johnson having himself a big night. 3 receptions, 47 yards, and of course the touchdown.
Really a little unusual. They didn't have it about a yard and a half to go to see him drop back in that shotgun. It shows you how much confidence Dallas does have it. How in the world Butch Johnson got that wide open, I don't know. You saw a lot of that nickel defense, the backs, the 5 backs in there. Evidently somebody just released him to the middle and no one picked him up.
Could have been the loss of Dorsett that forced them through the air because Jones came in for his first appearance. This is Ron Springs. And Ron Springs over the left side. Moves inside the 35, gain 6, 2nd down 4. They're still checking on Dorsett. We'll try and get a report and have it to you as quickly as possible.
I tell you, you don't want to see a guy like that get his wheels hurt. And I thought he limped off a little bit from that picture we showed you a moment ago. It looked like maybe when he tried to cut that either his knee or ankle gave out. It's hard to say, but if it's his ribs or something, that's better than his wheels. He's got to run on those wheels. You can tape up those ribs.
Dorsett, 163 yards tonight. We don't know whether we'll see him again. He had 132 in the opening game against Washington, 129 versus St. Louis last week. It's 2nd down 4. 8:04. The clock is moving. And there's a foul up somewhere, and Danny White tried to sneak a timeout before he loses 5 for exhausting the 30-second clock. And flag did go down. It'll be marked off. Danny looked up, saw the seconds ticking off that 30-second clock on the scoreboard, tried to hustle in a timeout, and he did not do so.
Delay of game, number 11, offense, 2nd down, no charge, timeout.
Why do they blame that on the quarterback?
Well, he's the one that's supposed to get it going. Yeah.
So we'll get it to me a little more quickly. Second down and 10 now, following the delay of game penalty. Bruised ribs, twisted right ankle for Tony Dorsett. And they did appear to be much more concerned with the bruised ribs. They were not paying a whole lot of attention to an ankle, but you're right, he did limp just a little bit in the first 2 steps when he walked off. Second and 10. Jones. Hey. James Jones, first down around the 23-yard line, and they just keep coming at you.
That gives you
no question about it. After all the mistakes, finally New England has broken down.
Well, this is an indication that Tony Dorsett's a heck of a good runner, but somebody's doing a pretty good job blocking up there too. That's the same play we saw Tony run a while ago. They start to one side, little counter move back. Delayed move, that hole opened up real well. Going back to that left side again. Good blocks on the left side of the line.
Herb Scott and Pat Donovan, both Pro Bowlers on that left side. Donovan just recently having signed a new contract. First down and 10. Ball at the 24-yard line. Seconds ticking away for New England as Ron Springs on the right side. Hammers out 4 yards down to the 20-yard line. They'll give him 3. We'll call it second down and 7. Ray Claiborne defensively there for New England. Raphael Septien will loosen up his wheel. The only Cowboy that isn't homegrown, by that I mean either drafted or signed as a free agent by Dallas. They have no one that played with anyone else other than Septien, who kicked for LA a few years ago.
Well, they got that trade with Dutton. You know, they got Dutton
that's right, they did.
From Baltimore. But you're right, they like to do it themselves. There he goes again.
Hurry. There it is. But they get the play off, and it's Doug Cosby, the tight end, coming around, getting the first down just as the 30-second clock expired.
You see that guy? He's a player, too, and a very fine one. He's the one who moved ahead of Jay Saldi out of Santa Clara.
Well, Saldi, who's been playing most of the night, he limped off a little earlier.
6'6". You see the size of that guy?
Yep.
6'6", 230.
Great receiver. The clock keeps winding down. We're inside of 6 minutes now.
Dallas will use as much time on that clock as they can as they tick it off once again. Danny White can see it. Draw play. Springs to the 10-yard line on the first down call. Gain of 3. It'll be second and 7. And Tim Fox, who was shaken up earlier, shows you the anguish of a team that really knows they are so much better than their record.
They really came into this game with great confidence. And when you look back on the game, the whole story is written in their mistakes, taking nothing away from Dallas, which played the way Dallas does. Brilliant execution, sees every opportunity.
Brooks Johnson is split left, Drew Pearson right. On the second and 7 call. James Jones, 23, stays in there for Dorsett. Quickly and intended there for Drew Pearson, covered by Ray Claiborne, incomplete. Not a typical Monday night for Drew Pearson. His 2 best games ever occurred on Monday nights. Back in '74, he caught 10 for 161. That was against Philadelphia. He caught 9 against Buffalo for 135 and 76. He's had to share the action tonight. Special teams come out for both clubs on third down and 7. Dallas has their 3 wide receivers. Johnson, 86, Hill, 80, Pearson, 88. And we'll operate out of the shotgun. Less than 5 minutes remaining to play. And White had to hurry a pass in the direction of James Jones. Fourth down, Septien will come on.
Well, if Raphael hits, it'll be an 11-point edge, but that doesn't really reflect the closeness of what has been a very, very exciting game. This is a real challenge for this Cowboy team. New England was tonight. Cowboys lived up to it. The whole game turned when Roland James mistakenly failed to call for a fair catch on a punt. New England had gone ahead. They had stopped Dallas. They had the momentum, and that's when they blew it.
In fact, they had stopped Dallas on the very next exchange following the kickoff. And they got the ball back at the 28. And Septian has hit from 28 yards out. An 11-point edge for the Dallas Cowboys over the Patriots with 4:49 remaining in the game. We told you the next Sunday the Cowboys will be at Giants Stadium in New York. And next Sunday the New England Patriots will have to go in and take on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who pulled their act together rather convincingly against the Jets yesterday. We're going to watch this from the end zone as Tony Collins looks upfield to Raphael Septian. Collins from his 8-yard line. And Collins with a fine run back all the way out to the 39-yard line. Steve Wilson defensively.
Going to be very hard for this team to regroup for the rest of the season. They still have a lot of players. Cunningham appears to be working very well. He'll be joining them, and yet they're already 0-3. And how do you come back from that?
Well, the Pats will go to Pittsburgh next week. They'll find out. Look out.
Oh, almost picked off. Guy Brown would have had clear sailing into the end zone had he been able to hold on. Intended for Calhoun.
He really would have. That was just a walk on through. Those little lame ducks you throw out in the flat sometime that the quarterback says, I want that one back in a hurry, and Guy Brown should have had that one. Pretty good pressure coming in there. Like Harvey Martin, ball's not thrown with a great deal of zip. Guy Brown just a half step off. He'd have had that, would have been all the way.
I want to move the Giants-Cowboy game back to Irving, Texas.
Let's do that.
And put it in Giants Stadium. They'll be in Dallas next week. Not a very good place to visit. Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Kavanaugh under pressure and is picked off. Dennis Thurman. Thurman returns it to midfield. That's going to happen when you're trying to play catch-up.
That's one of the first times, too, that Randy White has really put any significant pressure on Kavanaugh. You can see that Hannah's been doing a pretty good job on Randy. That's 2 All-Pros. See, right in the middle, there comes big Randy. Harvey was on the outside. He just threw that one way up, and away, my beautiful balloon. And leading right into turn out the lights. The party's over. It was over a couple of plays before that.
6 turnovers by England tonight. And that was one of them. This man had a couple. We'll be back in a moment. 6th turnover by the New England Patriots, and Dallas has the ball at midfield. 32-21. Very close football game. And had there not been the turnovers, but that is so often the case, New England would have been right in the game and perhaps on top. Ron Springs to the 45-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
He's become one of the more impressive players in this league.
He has it all. A good receiver. He's really applied himself this year to blocking. When Newhouse was hurt in training camp, where Ron Springs just grew by leaps and bounds. 3 touchdowns he scored last week against St. Louis. He's in there now with James Jones, number 23. White on 2nd and 6. Springs turns it up. Stops the clock at the 37-yard line with another Dallas 1st down.
Does it all, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Whichever way you look.
He can play both that fullback spot and the tailback spot.
And he's a sturdy guy. Very durable. Why not? He's got good size, excellent size.
1st and 10. 37-yard line of the New England Patriots for the Dallas Cowboys. 3:36 remaining in the game. Remind you again, we'll be in Chicago for the Bears and the Rams a week from tonight. Pearson put out to the right.
You could see Sweetness run for those Bears. Sweetness go.
That's Drew Pearson in motion. And this is James Jones, and he is whacked.
14 of the last 15 years. We told you earlier, these Cowboys, oh no, don't take it out on your team tonight. They made mistakes. They beat themselves, but they played gallantly. There goes Tony.
Ice on the right ankle and ice on the rib cage.
Bruised ribs and a twisted ankle.
Isn't that strange? Because he really didn't get, you see him hit much harder than what we saw that.
14 out of 15 years in the playoffs. That continuity of excellence traces to ownership, front office, and coaching.
6 times in the Super Bowl, twice a winner. Saldi back in the game, and they work it out. Danny White in a lot of trouble back there at the 41-yard line.
That's a new play they've developed. That's twice in the 4th quarter.
Danny, look at it. He says, oh, you got to be kidding. Man, will you give me a break?
Lost at 5. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
You know, it looks like Dallas is going to win this game, but they've really made some pretty big mistakes and really should have made more and more scores. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
Timeout has been called by New England. They have 2 remaining. Danny White will walk over, have a visit with Tom Landry. I told you earlier about all of our fine engineers who have been traveling around the country with us over the past 16 days. Executive producer of ABC Sports, of course, is Rune Arledge. ABC's Monday Night Football, produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Chet Forty. The technical director, Joe Chavio. Our associate director, Joe Chavo. Our associate director, Bob Rosberg. Technical manager, Coach Coltrane. Our unit manager, Lenny Nathan. Assistants to the producer, and they've been busy. Robbie Cowan, John McGinnis, others assisting, Joan Campi, Patty Ryan, and Sal Johnson. 3rd down, 15. Danny White springs. He holds on inside the 10 for another 1st down at the 9-yard line.
That's a good throw. He reared back and let that one go right on a string. Got Springs running pretty wide open right down the middle, but look at Danny throw this ball. Whoo!
Oh, and his spiral's pretty.
That one stayed tight, didn't it? Got down there in a hurry. Nice throw.
Spirit's gone out of the Patriots now. That's clear.
Clock starts, and we will get to the 2-minute warning. There's a lot of spirit in those 2.
A lot of spirits. That's plural.
And the Cowboys will let it tick down to the 2-minute warning. Tom Landry, old teammate of mine in my youth and his senior citizenship. We'll be back at Foxborough with the final 2 minutes in a moment. Showed up here tonight. They saw some fine football played by the New England Patriots, a team that is far better than their record, which will be 0-3 after tonight. And they'll have some hustling to do to catch, well, number 1, the Miami Dolphins, who are 3-0, Buffalo's 2-1, Baltimore 1-2. And New England and the Jets will both be 0-3. This is Jones on 1st down. Line of scrimmage. Seconds ticking away. And New England will use another timeout.
That's it, isn't it?
They have 1 remaining.
1 remaining.
Cowboys have never lost to New England. They've only played it 3 times.
I'd like to tell you again, this ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by the Buick Motor Division and your Buick dealer, who proudly announced the 1982 Buicks. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. All of the fine people who help us bring you these telecasts.
KIVI Channel 6, Napa.
There's the conversation on the sideline with Tom Landry, John Makovic, we've told you about, coach from Wake Forest in his 1st year with the Cowboys. And, of course, Don talked earlier at the beginning of the game with Ermal Allen, who works high up in the stadium, communicating with the Dallas bench, as, of course, do the other coaches. The defensive job produced by Ernie Stotner of the Dallas Cowboys. And for Ron Earhart, well, what can we tell you? You've seen his face over the night. It's been a very frustrating first 3 games of the '81 season. second down. The handoff is to Jones.
He almost could have scored there. He got tripped up. He made that one step right over that line where that initial action occurred. He could have walked in.
This time, the Patriots, with one timeout, choose not to stop the clock. Dallas letting the seconds tick away.
Whole thing's academic. I don't know why they'd even want to stop it anymore.
And Danny White is going to call timeout. Actually, he used all the seconds on his 30-second clock, and with 1 second left, used his timeout. Now he can start the clock again with another play from scrimmage. Good call.
I think something happened, though, Frank. I think he didn't like what he saw out there.
Oh, the Mets did it again. The magic is real, and it's back. 4-3 over the Bucks. San Diego leading the Reds, still in the thick of things in the National League West. 1-0 in the sixth.
Danny White over talking with Tom Landry, as we told you, in his 22nd year, trailing only George Halas now and Curly Lambeau in number of victories. As we look at more scores.
Frank, that Philadelphia-Montreal game may be one of the more remarkable baseball games yet played.
What is the longest one? Weren't the Mets involved in
Houston and the Mets back in 1968.
24 innings.
I would have bet someone would have had an answer.
No, we've got it right here. I mean, yes, it's here.
3rd down and 8. Patriots now with one timeout.
That wasn't a delay of the game.
No, that's not a delay of game, according to the 30-second clock on the board.
Dallas is in a situation right now where I don't think they're really trying to add insult to injury. They know they've got the game won pretty well, but at the same time, they've got to be competitive. And something's awfully sloppy right now. I guess that's what they called the timeout for. It seemed that people were throwing things out on the field, and the referee blew his whistle. So let's knock that stuff off, folks. We're going to get this thing over here in a hurry.
And they put 30 seconds back on the clock for the Dallas Cowboys. .10 remaining in the game. Again, 3rd down long. Ron Springs nailed by number 85, Julius Adams, and it'll be 4th down.
Appear to be a little motion out there, and the flags are down, and the motion appear to be against New England.
Offsides, New England.
It's ending in the sloppiest possible fashion. It's kind of sad to see people peppering the field. The Red Sox remain hot, clobbering Milwaukee. Detroit stays up there over Baltimore, and Cleveland shut out the Yanks, who have suddenly lost 3 in a row. Oakland, Toronto postponed. Minnesota did beat Kansas City.
Offside, number 55, defense, 3rd down.
And Texas defeated Seattle. California may finally win a game. Gene Mock can't believe what's happened to his Angels.
3rd down, goal to go for Dallas following the offside penalty. We'd like to thank our stats and research man, Jerry Klein. Our spotter, we've already mentioned, from Canton, Ohio, Hall of Fame town, Steve Bazika. Jones gets a block from Springs, turns back into a lot of red shirts.
And New England says we're going to call timeout.
That will be it for New England.
That's it.
And it'll be 4th down. Septian is ready to go in.
Yeah, Tom's going to take the 3, and why not? It's the thing to do. He should try to score again.
No, I don't believe he is.
No?
No. Keep in mind, too, it is a factor, one of the factors in the tie-breaking system, the number of points down a high, was way down on the list. Tom is also kind of a sympathetic person. He's not going to roll it up if he can avoid it. He's leading 32-21.
And there he is.
Now
He's in there, and that's
second thoughts. That's exactly what they should do.
That's the right thing to do.
Might have had second thoughts. Danny White was chewing the fat with him pretty good there.
Public's entitled to see every team at every moment expend its best effort, regardless even of the point-scoring system.
It's Charlie Waters to hold. Rafael Septien on for what appears to be a field goal attempt. 25 yards. Septien is hit from 26 and 28. And he hits from 25. Less than a minute. And New England will be 0-3 on a young season. Miami is 3-0. Buffalo 2-1. Baltimore 1-2. And we will be in Chicago next Monday night.
You talk about a team in disarray. The things happening in Los Angeles have been unbelievable. And with their personnel, it's astonishing that they're 1-2. But they did put a victory together over Green Bay, which can be a difficult opponent now. And maybe they'll be ready for the Bears, who put their thing together against Tampa Bay.
Come from behind win yesterday on the part of the Rams over Green Bay. Good defensive effort. Pat Hayden was shaken up. We don't know the extent of his injury. Bruised ribs being told. Jeff Rutledge came in for them, threw a touchdown pass, and they say that Pastorini is working out.
Yep. And they say that Malavasi and Klosterman are at odds over whether or not Pastorini should be signed.
Now, if we just knew who they were, huh?
Oh, it's going to be fun in the Windy City. You see Danny White's stats, 24 out of 34. That's not bad.
Septien drills it along the ground, taken by Hasselbeck. Gets it to the 42-yard line. New England has no way of stopping the clock other than with the incompletion or stepping out of bounds.
Montreal beat Steve Galton in Philadelphia. Steve may have been out of there when it finally ended. 1-0. What a game. That's it. You already sang it, Don. Earlier,
I can sing it again.
We talked about Dallas's continuity of excellence. You got a glimpse a moment ago on the sidelines of Gil Brandt, and he's one of the reasons. That man.
Kavanaugh fires to Collins. Collins is taken there by number 57. That's Angelo King, who was just recently activated. He had been cut. As a matter of fact, in training camp, Tom Landry brought him back in when Hagman was hurt, because he knows the system. Gain of 6, second down and 4. Kavanaugh back again. Flag is down. This is Andy Johnson with 29 seconds now on the clock. Emerson Walls defensively there for Dallas.
Everson Walls, a reflection of what I was talking about in Gil Brandt. Few, if any, are better. There will be the standings in the NFC East. And in 2 weeks, we have Philadelphia against Atlanta in the city of brotherly love. What a game that should be. And there's the AFC
Illegal
East.
motion, number 73, offense, second down.
I don't know how Schuler and Arnsparger do it, but together they work miracles. And we'll have Miami, Buffalo in 3 weeks. So we've got quite a schedule coming up.
Illegal motion, 5-yard penalty. It'll be second down and 9, 29 seconds remaining in the game. Kavanaugh will be out of the shotgun. Dallas has 6 defensive backs in. They're spread all over the field. And Guy Brown will get the interception. And Guy Brown is thinking offense. He steps out of bounds, stopping the clock.
He almost got one a moment ago, if you'll remember. That one would have been for a touchdown.
He has great speed. He really does.
You're going to see it. Dallas was really giving him that short stuff. Kavanaugh didn't really have a lot of pressure back there, but you just can't keep your eye on all of them. Trying to go to Hasselbeck. Guy Brown moved over from his linebacker position. And you're right, thinking offense. Wait a minute, I'm going to stop the clock.
So 7 turnovers tonight for the Pats. No way you can win under those circumstances.
And once again, it'll be Dallas at home next week against the Giants. And New England will travel to Pittsburgh. Anyway, we'll do the little fall down. And this game will be history. Dallas remains undefeated for New England. It has all the trappings of an extremely long year. Danny White looking for someone to say nice game. He finds the man that maybe made it all possible, Roland James.
That's right.
Once again, the final score, 32-21, Dallas over New England. And remember, stay tuned for ABC News Nightline. It'll be 30 minutes after the game, 11:30 on the West Coast over most of these ABC stations. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as a leader in sports television. Once again, 35-21, Dallas.
They're high.
I found out Michelin prices are really competitive. So that's what I'm putting on.
Michelin. We put America on radios.
Next Saturday, rejoin the family as the tough Pittsburgh Pirates battle home run king Mike Schmidt and the Philadelphia Phillies. Or Reggie Jackson snaps out of it in style when the New York Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox. Check local listings.
Well, I was all set to talk about Bryson Manor and his sack coming out of the commercial, but that bears about as little resemblance to Bryson Manor as anything I've ever seen. So we'll get to that point momentarily. From about the 11-yard line of Denver, they have first and 10 at minute 24.
This ESPN.
Today on Great Teams, Great Years, we'll be seeing the great NFL year of 1972. And the 1970 Dallas Cowboys. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall, your host for Great Teams, Great Years. In 1972, 1,000-yard runners were everywhere in the NFL, like ants at a picnic. Even teams like the Giants and the Chargers, who were going nowhere, had individuals like Ron Johnson and Mike Garrett, who went over 1,000 yards. O.J. Simpson slithered for over 1,200 yards, around and through defenses designed specifically to stop him. As if to prove that it was truly a year for the run, Bears quarterback Bobby Douglas rushed for 968 yards himself. But where the ground force really helped was in places like Green Bay and Miami, where the double-barrel boom of John Brockington and MacArthur Lane and Mercury Morris and Larry Zonka left bodies and rushing records strewn in their charge to division titles. Fittingly, in this year of the runner and the team, it was a young back from Pittsburgh.
Heading up Franco's Italian army, charging under the football and galloping off into the sunset.
In this year of the team, 1972 also saw the rebirth of the run. The best beef afoot was primed and packed into offensive lines, ready to roll back and ravage the front fours and linebackers. Secondaries, sitting pretty in cozy zone defenses, were no match for 260-pound earth movers with a full head of steam. Behind the blockers, tucked snug in their slipstream, came a runner, vanishing in their wake. While in years past, fans cheered for the bomb and marveled at a game of pass and catch, 1972 was a season on the run. Sometimes the quickest path to 6 points was a graceful leap or a desperation dive. Sometimes it simply took a lowered helmet and knocking heads. 1972 was a physical year. Prizes were rewarded not on grace, but on muscle. In 1972, every division winner but the 49ers had a 1,000-yard runner, and other teams that had little of anything else had one too. In Buffalo, O.J. Simpson's Heisman Trophy finally found wings, and behind a makeshift line, he ran for more yards than anyone else in the NFL. In New York, the Giants flashed into contention on the legs of Ron Johnson. The San Diego Chargers were a collection of merry pranksters, considered too weak to win, and they didn't. But Mike Garrett gained 1,000 yards. In 1972, runners, receivers, linemen, and quarterbacks carried the ball. Quarterbacks in years past ran strictly from fear or as a desperate last resort. Now a defense splayed apart like a gaping wound made an inviting target for a willing quarterback. And in 1972, no quarterback was more willing than Bobby Douglas of the Chicago Bears. Douglas parlayed his size, strength, speed, and straight arm into an incredible 968 yards rushing. His many doubters claimed that he was more of a running back than a quarterback. But in the Bears' season of need, Bobby Douglas was the answer to his coach's dreams.
Michelob brings you this.
During the season on the run, it became increasingly difficult for receiver and quarterback to link up on pro football's most glamorous play, the home run bomb. The evolution of varied and sophisticated zone defenses constricted and choked off the long pass. At the snap of the ball, secondaries retreated in a backward ballet, and with feet moving like centipedes, they formed a barrier between ball and receiver. To penetrate this web, quarterbacks relied on their receivers' native skills. Often only luck or a sure pair of hands separated a touchdown from an interception. The prime zone breaker in 1972 was a big, tough, tight end who infiltrated the dead areas of the zone and snatched away a ball up for grabs. The 49ers had such a man in number 82, Ted Qualick. For converting a routine turn-in into a touchdown, there were no players quite the equal of the Detroit Lions' Charlie Sanders, number 88, or the Atlanta Falcons' burly Jim Mitchell, number 86. In a year when zones turned many quarterbacks timid, one man defied them. Joe Namath rolled back on creaky knees and still cranked out beautiful bombs with beautiful bounces. While passes, runners, receivers, and strategies stir the fury of the fan, the team, not the play, was the thing in NFL 72.
A car can be a
26 teams started in quest of the Super Bowl trophy. Many teams, with little expectations, stumbled quickly, while others saw their high hopes shattered by reality. For in 1972, many once proud and mighty teams fell from glory. Quarterback Roman Gabriel suffered a season in pain, and with their right arm severed, the Rams season withered away. The rich traditions of the Baltimore Colts lay bowed and beaten by age, and serious contention collapsed in furious retreat. The summer forecasts predicted that the Kansas City Chiefs would gallop to the Super Bowl. But their hopes melted away early, and all that was left was the despair of 7 losses and the knowledge that their bitter rivals, the Oakland Raiders, wore the Western crown. Perhaps summer's sweetest dreams belonged to the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota always had defense. Now they had Fran Tarkenton, and many said that when winter came, they would be champions. But when winter came, an old enemy had invaded their ice palace. After years of slumber, the Green Bay Packers awoke to claim another championship. The Packers' rebirth hinged on 2 age-old strengths: an awesome defense that pulverized quarterbacks, and a basic offense that ground down an opponent's will. The Packers' brutal Hydra-headed running attack displayed the twin skills of MacArthur Lane, number 36, and John Brockington, number 42. On their heels, Green Bay steamed to another championship. While the Packers have scaled the championship ladder many times, the Pittsburgh Steelers had barely seen running back named Franco Harris. Harris rushed for over 1,000 yards and tied Jimmy Brown's coveted record of gaining over 100 yards in 6 consecutive games. With Harris as their catalyst, the Steelers were crowned champions of the AFC's Central Division. While Pittsburgh ended 1972 as Cinderellas, the Dallas Cowboys began the season as bona fide world champions. With a doomsday defense as their backbone, Dallas appeared to be on the verge of a football dynasty. Although Doomsday crunched and crushed, Dallas failed to win the East for the first time in 6 years. The Cowboys limped along until sore-shouldered Roger Staubach mended for the playoffs against San Francisco. With Dallas trailing 28-13 in the 3rd quarter, Staubach's entrance heralded a stunning reversal of fortunes. Roger shook off a season's worth of rust and generaled Dallas to a field goal and a touchdown that cut the lead to 28-23. Dallas recovered an onside kick, and with 63 seconds remaining, Roger read the zone correctly and hit Billy Parks at the 10. With 56 seconds left, Staubach struck Ron Sellers dead in the hands with a winning touchdown. Victory kept the embers of a Dallas dynasty faintly aglow, Next, they would meet a team of character, the Washington Redskins.
One last thing. Keep your poise, but be physical, okay?
The heartbeat of the Redskins thundered under jersey number 43. Larry Brown was George Allen's 1,000-yard workhorse, and for every yard he gained, he earned another bruise.
Just remember this, 40 men together can't lose, okay?
These 40 men together became 39 when quarterback Sonny Jurgensen fell to injury. In his place stood indomitable Billy Kilmer, who refused to let his team fall apart.